All right, folks, you see the thumbnail, you see the title. And I don't want you to think that this is some type of Terence Bud Crawford hate or trying to discredit Bud Crawford. This is just a genuine boxing conversation. Look, in different generations and eras, we have the faces of it, right? We have the face of boxing, the cash cow of the sport of boxing, right? For example, when Mike Tyson was on, he was the face of boxing and the cash cow of the sport of boxing, right? When Roy Jones Jr. was on, you could say that he was the face of boxing, but Oscar De La Hoya was the cash cow of the sport of boxing, right? Both of these guys share the faces of boxing, but Oscar De La Hoya was the cash cow, right? Just like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, those are the faces of the sport of boxing. But Floyd Mayweather was the cash cow of the sport of boxing, right? And then we moved on to Canelo Alvarez, right? And Canelo Alvarez, I can honestly say that he's just been the loner, right? As the face of boxing and the cash cow of the sport of boxing. But now we're heading into a new generation. But within the generation of Canelo Alvarez, Terence Bud Crawford been a highly accomplished fighter. You already know he's a 3-division world champion, 2-division undisputed, the first male to be recognized by all as the first four belt era 2-division undisputed. Should have been T.O., but the politics of the sport of boxing, you already know what it is. But anyway, Terence Bud Crawford was never mentioned as the face of boxing. When we're talking about the face of boxing, nor he's the cash cow of the sport of boxing. But Bud Crawford is arguably the best of the era. Arguably. You could say that he's the best fighter of the era. But he's not the cash cow, nor anybody ever mentions him as the face of boxing. They mentioned Gervonta Tank Davis even before they will mention a Bud. They will mention a Tyson Fury before they will even mention a Bud. His biggest fight of his career was versus Earl the True Spence, and Earl Spence was the money guy and was the A side, right? So I think that, Bud Crawford is in the same situation almost like Bernard Hopkins. When Bernard Hopkins was in his prime and he was beating everybody, making all the defenses in the middleweight division, you know what I'm saying? Winning great fights. We already know that he's a Hall of Famer. Great defense, great offense, big fights. But he was never really the cash cow of the sport of boxing. He was really never really the face. You know what I'm saying? Like the face. You still had Shane Mosley, you have Miguel Cotto's, you had still Oscar De La Hoya. Even though that he lost, that he beat Oscar De La Hoya, still really didn't became that type of cash cow in the face of the sport of boxing. Bud Crawford says that this is the Bud Crawford era. I think it's too late for the Bud Crawford era. But you can leave it in the comment section what you think. I feel like it's just too late. But we could debate that. Put it this way: is it too late for the Terence Bud Crawford era? Is it too late, or does Terence Bud Crawford still got some time? Now he said he only got a couple of fights left, right? But Terence Bud Crawford has the opportunity and the skills, and don't have enough wear and tear, in which he could do what Floyd Mayweather did. Floyd Mayweather, at the age of 36, he secured that lucrative deal with Showtime, and that was his money-made contract, right? Money-made contract. Has some great fights in that contract. Has some good accomplishment. He did beat Manny Pacquiao within that contract. He beat Maidana within that contract. I think that contract came after the Miguel Cotto fight. I believe so. But Mayweather, it was the Mayweather era really came with the money made contract, right? That's when he was the cash cow, the face, the loner, because Oscar De La Hoya, of course, he shared it with Manny Pacquiao as well, the 8-division world champion, 5-time lineal, 12-time world champion, right? I don't know. I don't know if Bud Crawford has the charisma. And for the first time, I think they're really doing a good job, or not even doing a good job. I think the Top Rank did a good job to put Bud Crawford in position, and I think it gave him a lot of opportunities. I just think that Bud Crawford was not opening up for those opportunities. He didn't like to interview. He didn't like to be out there. He wasn't a social media presence. He wasn't going to a lot of these fights and showing himself and talking. He really has a dry paint personality. But now you can see more of his personality. He's everywhere. He's accessible. Back then he wasn't. Should have done that in the beginning of his like years ago. He should have done that at least like 7 years ago, and would have started doing this by now. I think he would have been probably the cash cow of the sport of boxing. Probably, I don't know the cash cow, because he would be competing with Canelo Alvarez, but I think he would have been competing with Canelo Alvarez in terms of cash cow. If he would have got those fights earlier, if he would have got, like, say, yeah, he got Earl Spence later on, but if he would have got the Sean Porter earlier, if he would have got the Keith Thurman earlier when he was undefeated, if he would have got at least Danny Garcia as well when he was undefeated. So I don't know. What y'all think? Is it too late for the Bud Crawford era? He's going to be 37 years old, September 28th. I don't think that match from off, even though that's going to enhance his legacy and becoming a 4th-division world champion. I don't know if that an experienced fighter, you know what I'm saying? I really call him a belt holder. I think that the undisputed champion is still the man to be in the 154-pound division. Is still Jermell Charlo. He didn't lose in 154 after beating Brian Castano. Hopefully that Bud Crawford could get that fight next if he is successful and have a great performance. If he stays at 154, I know they're trying to push for that Canelo Alvarez fight. I don't think the Canelo Alvarez is going to give in to that fight. But we never know, right? Money talks. We never know. But I think there's other big fights out there, legacy fight for Canelo, for Bud Crawford. I think if he could get a Boots Ennis there, I think if he get a Virgil Ortiz, a Tim Tszyu, a Sebastian Fundora, a Jermell Charlo, that's the primary fight. Move up to the 160 of Jermall Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of great fights for Bud Crawford to enhance his legacy. And these fighters, let's say a Sebastian Fundora, unified champion, Jermell Charlo, undisputed world champion, Jermall Charlo, 2-division world champion. You got Virgil Ortiz and Boots. That I think these are the type of performance that can age very, very well, just like a Canelo Alvarez aged well for Mayweather. If Teofimo Lopez, that's probably that is the most accomplished fighter in the resume of Bud Crawford. There's people out there that don't like the call out, but in reality, Teofimo Lopez is the more accomplished fighter in his resume. And we've seen in the past that great fighters and legendary fighters have fought guys that came from the lower division, right? Like Leonard when he fought Durant. You know what I'm saying? People move up. Shane Mosley when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he moved up. You know what I'm saying? So I think a Teofimo Lopez and a Bud Crawford will be good for Bud Crawford's resume. But is it too late? Again, Floyd Mayweather got that 6-fight deal, and it was great for his legacy. You know, he became the face and the sole cash cow in the sport of boxing at that time. I just don't think that Bud Crawford would be the cash cow nor the face, but practically maybe almost the most accomplished. Because if he beats Masvidal, he will tie Canelo Alvarez. He will already accomplish more than Canelo Alvarez. You know, outside of the resume in terms of hardware, he already would accomplish more than Canelo Alvarez. But I don't even think even with a victory is going to propel him more than Canelo Alvarez as a cash cow. So let me know what y'all think. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.